charge. Apologies for the late start. I was eating dinner, and I didn't want to eat on stream tonight. Because I am not an animal. I am a human being. Allegedly. One moment while I finish one last work task. Okay. We're playing the Ratline tonight. I'm not looking at chat yet, sorry. Because I am doing a social media post for the AV Club real quick. Because I had one more story that needed to go out tonight. And now, you have me all to yourselves. How lucky. I don't even know if anybody's watching yet. Let me get a... This game can go into windowed mode, but doesn't let me change. So, give me a second to get chat open, and then see... Hey, Wealthy Aardvark, just poking my head in, and then Josiah. Hi, Josiah. Hi, Neil. Is this that new Myrtle game? I guess you could kind of describe them as being Myrtle-esque. It's a new database thriller. This is the demo. This is just the demo. But the demo looked beefy, and I wanted to play it. And I thought playing it on stream on a night where John and Des were not available for night raiding would be good. Some throwback to old puzzle stuff. And if it's shorter than I think it is, we'll do some Jerkbirdie or something. So maybe just some eugenics. All right, so this is the Ratline. This is from Owlskip Games, who made a couple of Budapest, 1971. They very likely may have hot Friday night plans. John was tired today, and I think Des was busy or something. Precisely, Jay, you're misspelling Jerkbirdie. So Owlskip has made... Oh, damn. You got red on you. A couple of games in the Root Trees Are Dead mold. I liked them from a design perspective, but they were both about music, which is a topic I just don't respond to that much. But this one's about hunting down Nazis. So, like, hell yeah. I'm all for it. Dog. We're playing as noted character actor Ron Perlman.
Soon, boy. Soon. Just one last case.
Oh, look at Mr. Political Opinions. That's right. I think that actual serving Nazis should be caught and brought to trial. One last case. Is there dialogue? I don't think there's a lot of dialogue, but there's a little bit. People tell me if the dog snoring is upsetting and too loud and horrible, because there is an individual volume setting for dog in this. Navigate left and right using the arrow keys or WASD. Not the smoothest scroll I've ever seen, but open evidence. Go back to your board. Click on any piece of pinned evidence to open it. Assign a name. Click on first name or surname on a target. Search a name, for example, Roger, and drag it to the character. Assign a photo. Open a photo, piece of photo evidence. You can click on any person in the photo to assign them to your suspect. Yeah, that all seems pretty root trees. Top sleuth can find your missing man. When spouses stray, fathers vanish, or lovers leave without forwarding addresses, many turn to the course. This is the 1970s. I don't know why I'm doing an old-timey radio voice. But for those seeking answers with a bit more urgency, Saul Perlman remains the city's quiet constant. A veteran of the private investigations trade, Perlman is known for his calm demeanor, sharp eye, and unmatched success rate in locating the absent. Whether romantically, financially, or legally inclined to disappear, mystery team assemble. More recently, his talents have been put to use by the NYPD in Queens, where he has assisted in several fraud investigations. According to sources, Perlman's meticulous approach has helped identify multiple suspects now facing formal charges. I just follow the facts. That's not what he sounded like in the cutscene. Perlman said, if that leads to someone dodging rent or running Ponzi schemes, so be it. Everyone's hiding something. It's just a matter of looking in the right filing cabinet. Oh, we can tune the radio or open our window. God, video games are getting so good lately. Okay. Hi, Saul. My regards from the Garden State. Looking for your help picking out a wanted fugitive. Bill Campbell's a fraudster and identity thief. He likes to move towns regularly, reinventing himself. My suspicion is that his new alias will hold up to casual usage, but he probably needs to use his real name for other things. Financial, legal. Look out for any evidence that leads you to him. Please, could you pick out his new alias, first and last names, plus his current location? My best Dan! That's my best Dan. I can poke the dog. Poke the dog, poke the dog. Oh, I got the achievement, you petted the dog. I was playing a lot of High on Life 2 this week, and that game does a joke that the first game, I guess, also did, where the final boss punishes you by giving you an achievement that is embarrassing by name. In this case, it was something like you romanced all of the erotic worms. I want to play after your article. Yeah, it's like I really found I was surprised by how much I liked it. Like once you get past that, the one big sticking block that kind of like dominated everything. I really enjoyed it. It's not the world's... Oh, my buddy works at Squanch. Yeah, cool. That is cool. They... see, now I feel like... It's not my favorite shooter I've ever played, and it's technically kind of a mess. But the ideas being executed in it are really fun and good. I don't know. I had a really good time with it. Just being able to run around with your Tim Robinson gun is good. What do we got? What do we got? Some kind of pervert? Some kind of pervert? Some kind of pervert? Okay, I can direct headshots since photo identify targets. I mean, I got nothing yet. Local bus tours a hit! Since hitting the road earlier this year, Camden Bus Tours has been steering visitors through the sights and stories of our fair city. I'm blown away by how many folks are hopping on, says proud owner and sole tour leader Peter Giacometti. Business is booming, enough to get a mink coat for the wife, a unique watch for his son, and fixes to the old bus. They even received a special visit from their sponsor, keen to inspect the side of the bus and take a photo. Clearly, the tour is a smash. Well, I loved every minute of it, said local pawnbroker and a friend from neighboring burb, Collingwood, R. Green. Me and Mrs. Green can't wait to come again. For tour bookings, please call Peter. All right. Item listing, a child's watch. Owner, Bruce Campbell. What a gun that calmly tells me how to pick the perfect Christmas tree. I don't know if I can do... If that's in there for you. Sad, are you... So Joe Pera is not playing one of the guns in it, unfortunately, if that's a Joe Pera reference. Joe Pera is playing a character where the central joke of his character is pretty funny, so I won't spoil it. But it does mean you spend a lot of time hearing Joe Pera talk to you, which is a concept so enjoyable They made a whole entire TV show about it. All right. Well, I have an evidence journal. Exciting. In the Ratline, you'll be asked to solve a series of cases that make up a level. The popular podcast? You'll be presented with a series of suspect headshots on your board. To correctly identify a suspect, you must identify the following: their likeness, by dragging in a photo; their current pseudonyms, first and last names; their current location. If a person is deceased, you can mark their location as the last place they were seen alive. There may be multiple photographic instances of a suspect. You can use any likeness regardless of their age in the photo. When you have filled in all suspect details, you can check your results. Results will return the following: more than 2 errors have been made, less than 2 errors have been made, you're close, or you are entirely correct and can complete the level. Yeah, the Baba O'Reilly, the Teenage Wasteland, like Joe Paratoxy was so good, and I wish I could watch all of it, except I get to a point where it heavily features someone I was in an improv team with, and my body contorts with jealousy, and I just can't keep it going, you know? A real shame. I'm broken inside. I'm a mess. All right, so we're gonna need to call some people. I can scale up and down the documents. That's nice. Boop, 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 boop. Ooh, and full screen. Boop, 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 boop. It's a good boop sound. Okay, so I don't have a phone yet. So click on the first name. That's fun. Roger? I said, for example, Roger. Hey, Will, is the pivot to make a show a little worse every week until there are no listeners? What do you mean? I guess I don't understand that one as a concept. Seems like the show's pretty good. Hi, Jack. So, let's see. I mean, we got this picture of this guy. Hoffman Diamonds and Pawn, Roger Green. So let's try... So I just want to get any people who haven't left one already. Certainly made it better when he switched away from Pokemon and Magic cards. Do people like the Pokemon and Magic cards more than The Great Gatsby? One of the greatest works of American literature? Are people basic? Smurfs is a high point, I'd say. Like, I missed one was about Smurfs. Like, I don't know what to tell you, folks. The show is just, you know, we just really wanted to talk about The Great Gatsby. You know, we just really wanted to have like a serious, like, we just wanted to do a show about The Great Gatsby. So if I just type, so what am I getting when I search this? Bill Campbell location. Where are they saying? Was it Camden? Okay, so I can like... The TJ Eckelberg cover art was tasteful. Thank you. Yeah, it took a lot of work. My computer kept crashing that day. I fixed it, but I was doing... It was not easy to get that going. The show is two best friends creatively committing emotional violence against one another is my take. Everything else is just a framing device. I don't know what to tell you. The show is good. And the show is whatever we said it was this week. That's the main thing you need to understand, is that the show is whatever we said it was this week. And it's just going to keep being... It's just good. The show's... I had a hard week medically, and I'm tired, and then Zimchuk comes in and just tries to throw me off my game. I understand. I've picked up The Secret. Not The Secret. The Game. Neil Strauss's The Game at a bookstore. I've picked it up and looked at it and said, negging. I understand. Zimchuk, no, I'm not mad. You did a good neg. You negged effectively. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But you are negging me. And that's okay. Yeah, Kay is not allowed to. Can't have kayfabe. Kay is not allowed to listen. But, like, let's acknowledge that coming in here and immediately throwing an insult at the show, you've decided to make tonight's stream about Zimchuk. And I, as a person who needs all the attention all the time, I applaud the move. I applaud the moxie. More of you in the chat. I think a lot of you in the chat have lost your moxie. And then Zimchuk, a fairly rare commenter. Well, I was folding my laundry and the show was making me sad. Oh, is it the part where I deliberately weaponized my own grief to make the listener sad for a minute so that I could then undercut it? Because that is one of my favorite things I can do. I'll just step. Yeah. Okay, so get a character hint. This one is an example. Good, because I don't want a real character hint. Press this button to receive hints. This is an evidence hint. Click the button below. You can use these hints to find new evidence or conversations. Click again. Next hint gives answer. I don't want the answer. Get out of here. I just wanted to... get a character hint. Press and hold the question mark next to a character field to get information hints. Okay. What is this game? This is the Ratline. This is the demo for the Ratline. This is an exemplar. Click for actual hints. I don't need that. Okay, open the glossary using the tab button. There's... Okay, here... Oh, there's my evidence! Okay, there's my evidence to look at. I would comment more if I wasn't a sleepy East Coast boy who doesn't stay up this late often. Neil, Garfield does start with a G, you know? And there's nothing we can do about that. Okay. I appreciate that they're giving me this nice big goals tab up here in the top left. It is taking up roughly 1/3 of my screen real estate. Okay, so our boy, we're hunting for Bill Campbell. And there was a suggestion that our boy Bill Campbell would, if he was having to actually do stuff with money or some such, have to use his real name. So, for instance, okay. Local pawnbroker and friend from neighboring burb Collingswood. R. Green. Me and Mrs. Green can't wait to come again. Pierre Giacometti. Business is booming. Unfortunately, U.S. Acres does not start with G. Yeah, that's a real shame. That's a real shame. Does Sheldon start with G? No. Roy Orson? No. Lanolin? No. Wade? A, B, C, D, E? No. Fuck. I can't remember what the boy sheep's name was. He wasn't the most dynamic character, if we're being entirely honest. Young Sheldon. Yeah. The Big Bang Theory. Okay. So we got basically two guys it could be, right? We've got Peter Giacometti, who's buying mink coats for the wife and unique watches for his son. Or we got this R. Green, who is his buddy. So the child's watch was pawned by B. Campbell. Now, y'all are just being, I think, anti-Italian right now. Peter Giacometti, committee a crime. That pronunciation was... Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry. Guacametti? Is that how it... Guacamole. Okay. So, no, I think it is going to be our boy Peter here is our criminal. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to be pronouncing it Giacometti? So I don't know if he is from Camden. Hold on. Or is it like Giacometti? Giacometti. Wait, hold on. Everything to Gary? What would it be? What would it be, Vin? What would it be? From neighboring burb, Collingswood. Oh, let's hit check answers and see where we're at. All answers are correct. We caught the scumbag. Dear Dan, I tracked down Bill Campbell in Camden, New Jersey. He's been running bus tours under the name of Peter Giacometti. Seems like the tours haven't been doing all that well, as he's been pawning items, including his son's watch, to a man named Green. Looking forward to working again, sending... Oh, I got him all right, so it took it away from me. I don't get to read it now. Click the bed icon to finish your day, or look around, whatever. It's your video game. You downloaded it from Steam. Everything's fine, and no one is mad. Ah, geez, someone murdered an Italian bishop. Is this that new Mad Libs game? Yeah, this is the hottest Mad Libs game of 2026. I almost said 2025, but I didn't. Body discovered in front of altar. That's Yakov Smirnov. That's not an Italian journalist voice at all. I've lived in Italy. That's a real shame. May 1st, Bishop... is that... Sorry, boy. Vincenzo Tura was found brutally stabbed to death in the early hours underneath the altar at St. Matthias's Church, Budapest. That's right, I say it, Budapest. Authorities have not determined a cause, though the ferocity of the attack may suggest ideological motives. Scrawled above the altar was the word Ratline. Police are continuing to look for leads in the wake of a wave of... And I assume the next line will be incredible electronica albums that are charting a new genre known as Ratline. Call it a day. Knives out. Hello. Is this Perlman? It's 3 in the goddamn morning, that's what it is. I am not joking, Mr. Perlman. Yeah, nor am I, buddy. What do you want? Mr. Perlman, may I ask, what does the Ratline mean to you? The Ratline, never heard of it. Sounds like a best thing. Or a really cool new electronica genre that's sweeping Europe. How about Bishop Tura? You have an article about him on your wall. Did you know that Bishop Tura was a former member of the Nazi Party? Hang on one sec. Get back to that bit about you spying on me. Who are you? He wrote extensively about how the Catholic Church and National Socialists could become allies. Later, he put his words into action. How so? Is this that new Hellboy? Yeah, new Hellboy. You've been looking for. Sounds like this. Bishop Tura was in the business of human cargo. On the night of his death, he had on him a list of Nazis he smuggled out of Italy after the war. A list? That's what the Ratline is. A passage to freedom for the perpetrators of human misery. Tura was a key helper. Ooh, I just made myself think about David Harbour. He's a fine harbor. As far as places to put a ship go. How did he manage that? He used his influence to remove them from prison, hid them in his monastery, secured documents, and arranged transport.
Capable guy. What's this got to do with me?
Mr. Perlman, I must be brief. We have a list, but we need an outside source to help us. You're well known as a top sleuth.
Ha! Buddy, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but...
Do you want to go after them, Mr. Perlman? These Nazis, these killers? Many of them live comfortably, growing old and fat. They believe they are beyond our reach.
And this may be our last chance.
We'll start feeding you names. With each case, you'll receive a dossier. When you're done with one, the next will follow. This continues until they're all found.
Hey, just a second, wait. You know, we can do a retainer. This won't be cheap, but I can work something out.
Good night, Mr. Perlman. Await our contact. Oh, we just got volunteered for justice. It's a pretty day. Sleep with one eye open, hunting them Nazis right.
I sensed that my contact had spent time in Manila from his choice of envelopes.
I get it. It's a reference to the film about the escaped Nazis. Just the one escaped Nazi, I guess, mostly. All right, ooh. Flip a document. Does this count as a document to flip? No. All right. Call your contact Diego. Don't mind if I do. Oh, you're making me actually punch it in, huh?
Hello, is this Diego?
It is. A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Perlman, is it?
Yes, it is. I believe you've been looking into the Schultz brothers.
Buddy, we don't know. I haven't looked at the stuff yet.
I have. My brief was to look for German dentists in Buenos Aires. I don't mean to alarm you, but there are a lot of them. I've really had my filling.
I see.
It's a little joke, you see, like fillings the dentists give.
No, I get it.
Uh-huh. Anyway, I have one promising candidate, a Dr. Schmidt. What can I help you with?
Tell me more about Dr. Schmidt. As a dentist.
Dr. Schmidt is a practicing dentist of some renown in Buenos Aires. I should know because I've become his patient. He's quite chatty in between sessions with the drill and pliers.
Do you know Schmidt's first name?
I have not been able to discover it. He has no certificates in his office. Highly suspect, if you ask me. I've never encountered a dentist who didn't want to parade his honors.
This game is hard on dentists.
Does he have any family?
He speaks fondly of his older cousin in Canada. Apparently, his older cousin pioneered a rather celebrated new technique called an oronectomy. Dr. Schmidt also claims to have played a role.
You know much about it?
Me? No, but Nico, a charming fellow patient visiting from Paraguay, spoke highly of the same procedure he had with Dr. Schmidt last January.
So how are we going to track his cousin? A dentist in North America.
Dentists in Canada need to conform to national certification, so we'll likely have retrained. I'd suggest speaking to the National Dentist School and taking it from there.
Thanks, Diego.
Does he have any distinguishing marks?
Does he have any distinguishing marks?
Apart from the beard, no, I don't think so.
That's all I need to know. Thanks for your help, Diego.
My pleasure. I appreciate your war on dentists. The gums of Navarone, if you will. Call again anytime.
Fuck you, Diego.
Buen dia, Diego.
Okay, cool. We got a transcript of the phone call. This is a punny game for being about hunting Nazis down. All right. Okay, so if I go back transcripts, can I can pin the Diego conversation. All right. So we're hunting down 2 Nazi dentists. The Schultz brothers. Mr. Perlman, this is your first case, the Schultz brothers. Wanted since 1949, it is believed that they fled initially to Seville and then on to South America. It is possible they are not anymore identifying as brothers, but as some other close family relatives, like cousins. We have contacted an associate in Buenos Aires to assist you. His name is Diego Rodrigo. Best of luck. All right. So we know one of our guys has a beard at the time. Maybe they will extremely long pause, not see the puns. Dear Friedrich, I heard you are shipping out tomorrow my undying love for my 2 blessed boys. Please make sure you and your brother shave your beards before then. You must be the only men in your unit who look so slovenly. Also tell Ralphie to wash his face daily to stop infection. The dental exam results came back. I am so proud. When the war is over, you can follow in Ralphie's footsteps. Love, Ma. All right. So that's Ralphie, I guess. With his facial scar. And then that'll be Fritz. And this is why mothers don't let your babies grow up to be Nazis, I guess. Does anyone see a document I can flip? Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Ah, okay. Some marks on from the Ratline. Okay, the important. Oh my god, I can actually now see my top. Oh, wait. Another wall? Or no? That didn't do anything. It lit up for a sec, but... No! I got rid of my Diego transcript. Okay. Alright, well... So... let's talk to Nico Schroeder about their oronectomy. Are they going to be in my Rolodex? They are not. Okay. That did seem like it would be too easy. Alright. So I need to call... So in the transcript, Diego suggested... God, Diego's so fucking funny. Okay, why am I only getting the first... page of the transcript? Okay. Game might be a little buggy. So am I calling the Canadian Dentistry Organization? There we go. Three oh 5433196. Bob. Time to talk to not Canadian dentists, but their organizers, the people who pit them against the world. Canadian Dental Organization, provider of top-class instruction from coast to toothy coast.
Hello, who am I speaking with?
This is Natalia. I am the senior administrator at the CDO and Dr. Schaefer's personal assistant. How can I help?
Natalia, I'm looking for a passing acquaintance I met in Buenos Aires. A German dentist working in Canada.
Sure, you're a dentist yourself.
I am not. Sorry, my name is Saul Perlman.
Superman!
No, Saul Perlman. Sorry to disappoint.
I'm afraid we've had many Germans pass through our esteemed halls. I cannot necessarily help you. Anything else I can help you with? Oh, I can't wait to ask this.
Tell me more about the CDO.
We're headed up by Dr. Herring. He's out right now. The CDO trains and certifies all dentists who want to work in Canada. We work with a variety of student dentists as well as mature expatriates who want to work here.
Where do your expatriates come from?
Oh, everywhere. England, France, Argentina. Lots of South Americans, though very few of them native.
Thanks.
Tell me about the oronectomy. The oronectomy is a groundbreaking procedure in humane cavity replacement, invented right here in Canada. It's a little technical, but you take a drill and put it deep into the crown. Typically, it's done in 2 stages, a year apart, to allow for regrowth.
Who invented this work?
Well, I can't give you direct info on our members, but there was an exciting conference in Montreal recently that honored the creators. I'll send you some materials once we're off the call. I'll also tell Dirk you were asking about his work.
Thanks.
In fact, there was another doctor there from Buenos Aires. Perhaps you know him, although I'm forgetting the name.
What about you, Natalia? What's your story?
Truthfully, I want to be a folk singer. Do you listen to folk music?
You mean Bob Dylan, Neil Young?
Oh, no, that's far too commercial. I do a lot of traditional Canadian working songs. We've got a little commune out of town. This pays the bills.
I see. Thanks.
I also sing a lot about the danger of candy, for kids mostly. If you want to know what it can do to teeth, you should talk to my friend Beth at the 5 Pieces place. The horrors. That's a root trees joke. That's a reference to the root trees. I got that joke.
I haven't had those in years. That's all for now. Many thanks, Natalia, for the tooth and nothing but the tooth.
So far, this game is not necessarily what I was hoping for. Very nice! You have a good day, sir. New evidence revealed. Evidence added to my file. Alright, let's pin transcript. Okay. Well, yeah, that's Ralph Schultz. Canadian Dental Organization Conference 1971 newsletter. Key speakers. This year, key speakers covered a wide range of subjects, including Emerging Technologies in Root Canal by Emerson, Brace Yourself, Orthodontistry in the Age of Bubblegum by Irving, and Challenges in British Dentistry by Forsyth. All were highly entertaining and informative. Prize recipients. This year's grand prize went to Dr. Mueller for his work on the oronectomy procedure. Flying in late from his surgery in Toronto for the photo op, the esteemed Dr. Mueller shared a few choice words. I couldn't have done it without my brilliant cousin Alex. All right, we got it. Dirk Mueller and Alex Mueller, right? Unless they're... Or no, he gave me the name, didn't he? It's legit. Yeah, the comedy is not... I'm not loving the comedy. So can I talk... So can you actually let me scroll? Is this the scroll bar? No, that scrolls that. Can I hit that? Okay, transcript open in background. Great. Well, that scrolls. There we go. Okay, so Dr. Schmidt. So That's gonna be Alex. Schmidt. And Buenos Aires. Am I spelling that wrong? I think I am. AIRES. Apologies to Argentina. Okay, I think that's our guy there. And then this is going to be now Dirk. Mueller. From Toronto. Let's give it a check. Yeah, I got it.
To whom it may concern, I found the two dentists, Ralph and Fritz. Ralph is a highly decorated dentist living and working in Toronto under the name Dirk Mueller. He decorated a procedure called the brother, for which he was received significant brother. His younger oronectomy goes by Alex Schmidt. He lives in Buenos Aires. Best Saul.
I am always hungry for the French collection. I am always hungry for a root trees like, and they tend to do pretty well by me. But so far, the puzzles have been ridiculously simple, and the writing has been unenjoyable. But we'll keep. It's just a demo, so we'll keep poking at it. All right, access the library archives. I can now search the New York Public Records Library. Well, this should be easy. Oh, all right. I hope this one ends in a fraught chase through Lower Wacker Drive. Demolition. Is it is the Wacker Drive thing a Dark Knight reference? All right. Oh, we got 3 this time, including a lady. It's feeling less hard-boiled and more beatnik. Yeah, I guess so. Their other 2 games were also that I've like poked at. Rivals and Family are also both pretty low rigor, I would say. But yeah, I don't know. I had hopes for this, so we'll keep pushing through. Mr. Perlman, we are now on the trail of Anneliese Hoffman and her lackeys, Helmut Schlosser and Wolfgang Fischer. The daughter of a wealthy and well-connected family, she is a target of utmost importance. We have secured you access to the archives, a wealth of searchable documents that may aid your investigation. Our regards. What was Hackman's name in that? Oh yeah, Popeye. Popeye Doyle. Delicious Popeye Doyles. That guy's got strong lackey vibes. I hope he knows her, because if he doesn't, the body language is worrying. Every time I'm inclined to make fun of art in a video game now, I just have to remind myself that when you do that, you're pushing people towards doing AI. So. Property of Pellicott and Partners. And then we have the Siegfried to look up as well. Oh yeah. Now, Lamppost and Winter, what are you doing in the Vizier group chat? Just out of interest. Are you Viziering for anyone? Ooh, Lamppost and Winter. Here's my brag as a journalist. I exchanged emails with Tom Walker this week because I was double checking that he was in High on Life too. And I was like, I should not feel nervous about sending a comedian an email to their publicly available email address, but here I am, a mess. But yeah, I was playing High on Life too because Pat Gill's in it very prominently. Like, he's one of the first voices you hear in the game. And then much later, I walked into a gift shop in the zoo and I was like, that is Tom Walker doing an orc voice. Jack, I mean, you boo what you like. I enjoyed it. I wrote about it this week. Safe passage assured. New identities assigned. Libby Watson is in there too. Nice. So HS, DF, RG, I guess opposite. Are they shipping them through crates, I guess? With their new... Maybe with their new initials. Okay. All right, let's look up Pellicott and Partners. Not doing jack shit. Okay. Let's look up the boat then. Siegfried shipping routes. There we go. Shipping routes to the Siegfried go from... Get out of here. Pin it. From Trieste to Seville, London, Dublin, and then ending up in New Jersey! No days were just assigned by D. So, RG, DF, HS. And yeah, they've got the Ratline symbols on them, but none of those are going to be anybody. Like, the guys carrying it aren't going to be. This doesn't have a flip on it. I have no idea who any of these people are and no context for them. If I check this again, Pellicott doesn't give me anything. Yep. Okay. Intermediary symbols redacted, extrapolate from pattern, approved for release. Annalise Hoffman and her lackeys, Helmut Schlosser and Wolfgang Fischer. Yes, that's the... So, presuming they're sending... So, Annalise, was it... What was her name? Annalise Hoffman, so AH, is going to be here. And her new initials are HS. Or, yeah. And that crate's inverted. They've done that crate upside down. It should have another up arrow on it. So if we look here... Okay, so if we go back and look at the evidence from last time, the squad photo, and can we flip the squad photo? Flip squad photo. So that half moon was used to denote, or no, right. So that doesn't denote where they're going because one went to Buenos Aires and one went, or maybe they both went to Buenos Aires originally. Okay. I'll pin the back of it too, just so I don't have to keep New identities assigned. The new identities are these, but I don't have any context for them. I mean, if I just search Hoffman. Hoffman Corporate Restructuring. That's just some bullshit. Man found murdered in Dublin Park. Police in Ballymun yesterday recovered the body of David Fairview in Grange Park. Detectives say Fairview sustained multiple stab wounds and bore defensive injuries consistent with a violent struggle. Forensic officers also believe the body may have been moved after the attack. Investigators are now appealing for information on a tall... one moment, everybody. Give me just a second. I'm going to... let's see. I'm going to mute. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Had to attend to a bit of husbandly duties, if you know what I mean. The TV has a thing now where if you try to turn it on just by hitting the button on the PlayStation controller, it doesn't like that signal anymore and glitches out badly. So I had to go address that for my lovely wife. So, were any of these people being sent to Dublin? Yeah, they were. But she wouldn't have kept... Would she have kept the last name for... marriage reasons? Well, let's try looking up Fisher. Nothing. Schlosser? No. Is that... So... Is that the woman from the photo? It looks like. I guess I have the photo in the first place because it's been linked to... my case in some way. Okay, well... Oh, hey, and there's... Yeah, there, isn't it? Tall, blonde woman in her early 50s who was seen in the area with a male companion around the time of the incident, and with information was asked to contact Ballymum Gardaí Station. Well, let's try calling Ballymum Gardaí Station. See if it's in my Rolodex. Sure is. 658-809-1514 Ballymum! Ballymum Garda Station. Sergeant Kinney, how can I help?
Hello, I'm inquiring about a murder that happened last year in Grange Park.
All right, you'll be wanting to turn yourself in, will ya?
I'm inquiring about the victim, David Fairview.
Look, fella, I don't know the case. What I do know is I've sure had enough of yous lot calling up about it.
Us people?
Yous Yanks, you called last week asking this and that about developments in the case. Well, this is an open investigation, so we ain't got nought to say to ye. Ye.
Where were the calls coming from?
Inside the house. Oh, some dizzy girl in New Jersey. You done now.
Well, I'd really like to.
Oh, piss off. Alright. So, some girl in New Jersey was calling. New Jersey was the final shipping round of the Siegfried. Can I not move stuff around on my board? I can't move stuff around on my board. It's awkward. All roads lead to New Jersey. Is that Roger Green from the first case? To do a proper Ballymum accent, you really have to draw out the vowels more. Peace. So is this linked back to my first case? Because he's got the same initials. So are these two Roger Green and Annalise Hoff? Or is that her? So otherwise, it's just a weird coincidence that all roads lead back to New Jersey, you know? So she marries Fairview. Fairview gets the new name Roger Green. Oh shit, so Fairview is... Okay, so that's Fairview was Helmut Schlosser. And Fnir over there is Wolfgang Fischer, who is now living as Roger Green. Now this is a wild assumption I'm making. This is some real law of conservation of detail shit, where it's like, well, I don't have anything else to go off of except these initials that I've seen before in this place that I've seen before. So, and a very light facial similarity, given the art style. So you're Daniel Fairview. You got yourself killed in Dublin. And then if we're going off the assumption that he married, that she married him afterward, do we know what her name would be now? Did we get that information? I don't know. Or has Roger Green got anything for me now in this database? No. Me and Mrs. Green. Hoffman Diamonds and Pawn. Roger Green. Managing Director. Bishop murdered. The Rose Street Gallery. Could call Bill Campbell. Let's try calling Bill Campbell. 451 564 375. 451 564 375. 461 574 375. 46. Nope, lost it. 451. Oh, that was not the right button. 4 375. I got an achievement for dialing a number and getting no response. Great. Let's see. What was his business called? Hoffman Diamonds and Pawn. Or no, that's... Oh, okay. He was running the pawn shop. Try Hoffman Auctions, I guess. Yep. Let's see if we just have a number for Roger Green. We don't. Oh, we try. Oh, let's call the fucking Root Tree Candy Company, why don't we? I like Easter eggs too. I like delicious Easter eggs full of candy. Love them. 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 1, 9, 8, 9. The root trees are dead. Do not call back. Alright. Okay. So... close your Rolodex. So her name was AH, and then it was HS, and then she would have presumably gotten married again. So her name starts with an H. Now. So yeah, so he was, okay, so they both got sent to Dublin, and then she fled to, that's the mark for New Jersey. The Ratline mark for New Jersey. Where's that Fairview? I should use the photo here for him instead. No, it doesn't let me use that photo for him. Okay. Range Park. Detectives say Fairview sustained multiple stab wounds and bore defensive injuries consistent with a violent struggle. Forensic officers also believe the body may have been moved after the attack. Investigators are now appealing for information on a tall, blonde woman in her early 50s who was seen in the area with a male companion around the time of the incident. Alright. Fairview doesn't get me anything. I gotta already check the last names of these guys. Collingswood, no. Green. Roger. Nope. Is there anything here in these photos that gives me... more information. Hoffman Diamonds and Pawn. Roger Green's was the managing director, but I don't have. It doesn't give me her name. Is there a point to calling the Rose Street Gallery in Amsterdam? Can't imagine there is. So he was an employee of Hoffman. This. Oh wait. Look, there's the Hoffman. So personnel restructuring. Bread and Lantern. Going into Hoffman. Personnel restructuring. Honey. Into tea? The hell is this supposed to mean? Exactly. Is there the same number of symbols on each? There is. Is it just a puzzle? So Bread and Lantern are both restructured into the pawn shop. Pig went into Top Tomato. So our three targets were originally named, because if this is code for something, we have Wolfgang Fischer, Anneliese Hoffman, and Helmut Schlosser. Do any of these make sense as like code for anything? Lantern, lamp, honey, bread, pretzel house, the big cheese, pig, going to Top Tomato, like they're just like supposed to, they're just like little fake corporate logos, right? So Hoffman employee corporate restructuring, that's page 2 of 2. Can I see page 1 of 1 that explains anything? I'll pin you. Pin you for real. Alright, I'm gonna check a hint. Review the doc photo. Okay. Pelicott and Partners. This way up. Wolfgang. Yeah. There's the priest. There's this guy. New identities were assigned. I'm not getting anything new from... What am I supposed to be getting new from the doc photo? That this guy looks really cool? He does look really cool. There's a business name attached to the photo. Next hint gives answer. Yeah, I've looked it up before. Oh, is it in my phone? Is Pelicott and Partners in my phone? But doesn't have something... That's annoying. That it's in my Rolodex, but not in my... but doesn't come up with the frickin' library. Great. 416-407-152. That's what Pelicott Partners can do for you.
Hello, George Martinique of Pelicott and Partners. Hello, my name is Saul Perlman. I've have received a document regarding the Hoffman family with your law firm's stamp on it. Ah, yes. Wait one moment. Door shutting. How can I help?
I'm not gonna do the do the voices. Do the voices, Will. Everybody loves the voices. There's so many people watching, and they all want to hear all the voices all the time.
Why do you have this photo?
Mr. Perman, do you know what a private archive is?
No.
Say there's a very rich family, for example, the Hoffmans. They might wish to have a place to store the enormous amounts of documentation stemming from their personal affairs, somewhere confidential.
So it can't be found easily.
Exactly.
Proof of business malfeasance?
Sometimes, but also more personal affairs, fallouts, illegitimate children, drug problems, identities.
I'm struggling to follow. I'm a very smart detective.
My apologies. Pellicott and Partners represented the Hoffman's business until we were ousted in a recent corporate restructure. We also served as a personal archive.
You know where the bodies are buried?
Exactly. That photo is from the secure archive. It was deposited there many years ago. The reason you have it is certain partners, myself included, feel that more light should be shed on the Hoffman families. I'm here for the voice. Okay. On the Hoffman family's broader activities.
What are those broader activities?
Being Nazis, you dipshit. For example, the Hoffmans run cafes, restaurants, stores. I've met a number of their regional directors. They have surnames like Rodrigo, Savelli, Guru. What do you think their accents are?
German?
You're smart. They all have strong German or Austrian accents and are roughly 50 to 60 years old.
You think the Hoffmans are hiding people inside their companies?
I do.
Including family members?
That I couldn't say.
What was the restructure about?
I think there was a big scandal. I heard little and it was all covered up quickly. After that, a lot of people were moved around and we were cut off. Boy, I wish I'd talked to this guy earlier. I wouldn't have had to make quite so many stupid guesses.
What can you tell me about the Hoffmans?
Very rich Swiss-Austrian family. Father Franz and Mother Elizabeth and daughter Anneliese.
What did you say they run?
They specialize in food and drink. They have restaurants and stores all over Europe. Touristy. Popular with Americans.
I'm American.
And I apologize for that. I guess it should be a French accent, but I'll try.
Is that all their business interests?
I believe they recently started a U.S. chain of pawnbrokers and discount stores. Grubby stuff. That's it. That's France. That's France right there.
How about Anneliese specifically?
She was the joy of the Hoffmans. A ski champion, concert pianist, ballerina. Not a particularly nice person, though. How do you say? She treated people like property.
What was the state of her marriage?
Tempestuous, to say the least.
How about Schlosser and Fisher?
Helmut Schlosser was high up in the Austrian command chain. Is this German? Shit, are German and French the same accent really deep down when you get down to it? Very tall and handsome man. He was also vain and cruel, capable of days-long rages.
So not your typical Nazi, then.
Very good. There are stories in the archives of him beating up his servants, kicking his dogs. Parlez-vous français? All qualities that endeared him to high military command.
And Fisher?
Fischer is more of a murky character. He was a close friend of Schlosser, but less so with the Hoffmans. I don't know what accent this is, but it's not French. Can I do French? Can I do a French accent? Oui, bonjour. Bonjour. He wasn't at her wedding, for example. I think deeply. It's Already Transylvanian. I think deeply in love with Annalise. I have gleaned from some letters that this was to some extent mutual. Is that French or is that Dracula? It's tough, you know, what to figure out if you're being French or Dracula.
They were lovers.
That I cannot say.
Part of the photo contains coded symbols.
I can't help with that, but you should have a look in some archives for anything you have seen in the picture. Plus check if you've seen these symbols before.
Thanks, George. That's all, thanks.
A pleasure to speak to you, Mr. Perlman. I'm going to send you a few things to look at. I hope they help.
That's great. Take care.
Alright. Okay, it's a little code. Okay. Dear Anna, my mother says she already knows that I need to understand about things your parents discuss in polite circles and other intellectual things that I study or love. Ava T. Okay. So there's a little thing in the background. It's a repeating set of symbols. One word per symbol. Okay. So it's marked with T at the bottom, so let's just read the T. Mother knows about your other love. Okay. Okay. I should be pinning these things. Dearest Annalise, I am sorry to hear about Helmi. We can handle arrangements, but you need to leave Europe as soon as possible. We have a new opportunity that could provide you some cover. The first name, however, will have to stay. Please take care. Your cousin, the young master Kunst, inquired after you. He is terribly fond. What a shame this all is. Love, Ma and Pa. Okay, so her name's still Annalise. Hoffman Enterprise. Okay, so now we have all of the... Hoffman Enterprises. So, yes. Okay, there we go. The Krusty Loaf was the bread place. That's Roger Green. So that does confirm that Roger Green is our guy who got transferred over. And then, what was the other... I pinned this, right? So, what was the other one that ended up going to Hoffman? The lamp one. What was the lamp one? The Lamplight Larder, Helen Smith. Was her new name. So. But if I'm right in thinking that she ended up getting married to him, then her last name is going to be Green too, and she's also in Collinswood. Check them. 2 or fewer errors in my identification. Okay. Do they want Smith for her? Still? Is her last name still Smith? There are more than 2 errors, so no, that was... So no, she is Helen Green now. Okay. Is that not her picture? That must not be her picture. So let's just take let's just use their modern pictures for this. Can I pull photos still from the bus tour photo? I can pin this, so there we go. 2 or fewer errors in your identification. So do I have Schlosser's face wrong? Puzzle? Hey, Eggs! Yeah, we're playing the Ratline. Okay. This is a Candy Family mystery. It has several jokes about the Candy Family mystery. Okay, so Fisher's more of a murky case. So Wolfgang Fisher, and then how much? So Wolfgang Fisher became Roger Green. That must not be a photo of Fairview there. But I can't pull, or it's David, not Daniel. That might be the whole problem, is I wrote down the wrong name. Let's go ahead and check it now. That was it. I put the wrong name in.
To whom it may concern, I found your 3 fugitives. All 3 took the Siegfried ship from Trieste to London and Dublin. There they took on aliases that allowed them to run Hoffman businesses without detection. However, it appears that Wolfgang and Annalise started an affair. This led to the death of Helmut Schlosser, most likely at their hands. They were smuggled by Annalise's parents to New Jersey to head up Hoffman's Diamond and Pawn in Collingwood, New Jersey. They are married and go by Roger and Helen Green.
Thanks, Eggs. I've been having a lot of insecurity about the voices tonight, so that means a lot to me. So, for whatever reason, my first case was coincidentally related to my third case. We had a demo. This is all the demo we get.
Hello, is that you again? Another 3 a.m. call.
You've done well, Mr. Perlman.
I tracked down Annalise Hoffman and her new husband. Turned out she iced the last one.
Congratulations.
You're going to arrest her?
Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Oh boy, so is that it? We're done?
Not even close.
You're going to start paying me? I'm covering my own expenses here. My library card is maxed out.
Mr. Perlman.
Oh, forget it. I can see you guys are as tight as you are tight-lipped.
Mr. Perlman, we need you to look into some ex-Nazis based in South America, Argentina, Bolivia, and Paraguay.
I already got a guy in Argentina. A dentist.
This is different. These men were high-ranking Nazi officers. After their escape from Europe, certain powers chose to make use of them for their skills. Arrest, interrogation, torture. Some now head up secret police departments and go only by aliases.
They were promoted, basically.
They visit untold misery on their country's people and stifle the spread of democracy. We need to hunt them down.
And have them arrested?
No. We want to eliminate them.
And if I refuse?
Saul, you seem to have a nice enough life. Do you really want to find out?
I see.
A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Perlman. You can go back to sleep. Your next package arrives tomorrow. Is that the end of the demo? Yeah, alright. Okay, so that last case was at least a little bit more in-depth and took a little bit of thinking, even though I'm a little annoyed at how coincidental it was. But yeah, I wasn't blown away by that. In the grand terms of... I should get a... Oh, hold on. Where is it? Oh, that's just infinite. There we go. Yeah, but that was kind of fun. Have you seen Titanium Court? It's a very charming demo as well. I have not, Eggs. Let me go to look real fast. I'm always looking for new stuff in this space, you know? I spend a lot of time looking for a surreal strategy game for clowns and criminals. Oh, I have seen this. I've seen like pictures and stuff of this. Looks cute. Yeah, let me go to quick download. But yeah, I'm always looking for new, like, whatever you want to call them, database puzzlers. Because I love them so very much. There's a couple good ones on itch that I've played recently. But right now I'm just kind of waiting for the incident at Galley Manor, or Galley House, or whatever it's called, the Type Help remake to come out, because I just fucking love Type Help so much. Type Help's so goddamn good. So goddamn good. All right. Let me load up Titanium Court, and we'll give it a poke. Pretty. Let me get that old OBS to say hello to it. Okay, and it looks all sized nice. All right, I have no idea what this is. Eggs, if this is pornography, you got me. Also, it's very weird pornography. Please begin. A man steps on the stage and taps a microphone.
Good evening. Before we begin the game, there are a few announcements. First, due to unexpected circumstances, the part of the player will be performed by an understudy.
A couple of audible groans and one muffled boo are up from the audience.
No, there's no need for that. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse, and I can guarantee that she'll impress you. She may not have had time to memorize any of her lines, but, well, neither have any of you.
The audience laughs.
Second, we'd like to warn you that this production, God damn it, X, features a significant amount of obscenity. But before all the parents in the audience begin covering their children's ears, know this. The stage is enchanted such that the obscenities can only be heard by those of sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And finally, the writing room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script before this performance. They are working on it as I speak, so it is my pleasure to announce that tonight's performance is also a race. Who will win? The writers furiously working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question, but I can announce that the race begins now. We hope you enjoy the game.
Where should you start? You are walking through the woods when the world around you shattered. This was both alarming and inconvenient. Isolated on a lone stretch of ground, you were transfixed as the broken landscape began to rearrange itself. Your eyes followed trees and hills, collapsing in lines of three as if the forest you knew were a knot becoming carefully untangled. You dared not move from your position as the ground beneath your feet quivered in anticipation of shattering further. You passed this time the way for who knows how long. Until the court slid into view. At first, you weren't sure you could trust your eyes, but there it was, a great shining structure among the roiling landscape. Something stable and enclosed, a shelter. You kept your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside its Windows 95. Surprisingly, the court appeared able to move freely through the broken landscape, disregarding lines of threes that approached your position. Just as it came near, the shattered landscape lurched. With little warning, the forest snapped back together as if someone had pulled the knot of reality tight once again. Except by now, it wasn't the forest you knew, it was hardly even a forest. You stood, stretched, and began the hike toward the court. A.P. Thompson presents
Later, while the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you sought out a more isolated part of the hall. Music is a bit loud. Yeah, it's also a bit loud for me, so... Doop. An empty table near an exit where no one would pay you much mind. A sound plan, except... The hall was soon overflowing with people, and your table was no exception. The young man seated to your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in a society, how you preferred to make your bed, these sorts of subjects. Eventually, he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court. Which answers my question quite thoroughly, while raising many more, he says as you conclude your tale. But forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there is a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. The people within the court were earnest, but odd. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and the strange circumstances outside, except... They speak mostly in riddles and nonsense, didn't they? They did. Let's find out where you are. A man resting in the shade of the wall. Said the man.
Whoa, pal. Before you ask me any more questions, you gotta know my deal. And my deal is that I can only answer questions that you haven't asked. So as to where we are now, no can do, sorry, can't tell you. But what are we doing? Oh man, we're a court of fairies on the quest to find our missing queen. He looked to both sides, then said, so let me know if you see her. Just don't ask me where she is. Next, you. Hold on, are you seriously going to tell me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? Yes, you are, because if he lets you proceed uninterrupted, he'll learn that many of these people played a part in what happened next. Fine, fine. Let's find out where you are. Woman in a helmet doing her taxes at a picnic table? Said the woman.
I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't even figured out where we aren't.
She gestured at a stack of maps on the table behind her.
We're not in any of those places. Or at least we weren't. Who knows if that's true now that the tide has come in.
You attempted another tactic, hoping to glean some information. Perhaps she could at least tell you the name of this place.
Oh, we just call it the court. Its full name is the Court of... Oh, I forget. Something like the Court of Aluminum, but it starts with a T.
The Court of Tungsten?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm new here, and I'm bad with names, but at least I can give you mine. I'm Robin.
She held out her hand, which you shook as you introduced yourself.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I should try to sort this out before the tide settles again.
A pair in front of a blackboard discussing magic. There appeared to be a seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard. A seminar on magic, if you understand the text on the blackboard correctly.
So, okay, first you take a metaphor, and then you stretch it really thin, right?
Right.
Like really thin, so thin you forget its original purpose. Then you inflate it.
Right. Just inflate the metaphor.
I prefer to use my lungs for that. Then as it's inflating, you twist it, like, hang on, like so. You're still following?
I think so.
And, hold on. Ta-da! There! It now resembles a dog. A delight for children and such.
Oh, okay, so what happened to the metaphor?
It's a lovely little balloon dog now.
I see.
They seemed a bit busy, so you left them to it. Let's find out where you are. A small cat bathing. I think I did the skeleton voice overrides all of their voices, so I lost the voice I was doing before for the narrator. A small cat bathing in the sun atop the walls. Was it more old-timey than that? Said a small cat.
Meow.
Ah, your questions are numerous but inconsequential, for they miss the current crisis.
Meow.
What crisis? Why, the crisis wherein my dinner is late.
Meow.
It It is so late, in fact, that I'm not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I invented in a fugue of hunger.
Meow!
All other societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. Purr. Please, stranger, might you fill my bowl, thus ending this ravenous standoff? A woman behind you laughed.
Oh, don't listen to him. He's been fed twice today already.
What did the outside of the court look like from atop the walls? Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outward. Perhaps there was something you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. To the contrary, conditions outside the walls were even stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape had now melted away. The court stood alone amid a void. But not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround. Much of the new topography was familiar to you. You could identify fields, water, woods, and hills. But there was something else to see. A menacing group of other courts were also part of the landscape. You were not alone in noticing these other courts. Someone shouted,
The war! The war! The wharf is here.
Someone else,
Well, that can't be. Buck said no wars till we found the queen.
then perhaps you should explain that to them. Surrounded by the enemy on all sides and bereft of an obvious course of action, the people of the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered the first prayer. I don't remember what this guy sounded like.
I genuinely wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray they'd fade into obscurity. Wow, I didn't expect that to work, but thanks.
The woman named Robin offered the next prayer.
My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. Our time is much better spent steering the court. Remember, their soldiers cannot cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in. There, now that river protects us from nearly half of the field. Hills should also slow their advance, so for my next prayer...
But the next prayer did not belong to Robin. The next prayer belonged to the cat.
Meow. So long as we are making demands of God, then my wish as ever is to be fed.
Psst. Hey. You probably didn't notice, but something just happened over here. What happened is, by matching fields, the court just got more food. Similarly, other parts of the battlefield can be matched to earn other shit. None of these fairies in the court will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of the user interface. But I'm a secular tooltip. I fear no god. I will do my best to provide you with this vital information. You're welcome.
Oh. Yes, more of that, please.
Robin then bemoaned the loss of the moat.
And we face even more of the enemy than before. Why must I bother?
The scholars of the blackboard now chimed in.
We've identified the most strategically sound location.
This spot, right here.
If we just steer over there carefully, we should be fine.
Sitting pretty.
But Robin interjected.
Stop. Look at the clock. It's almost low tide. We have time left for only one more move.
Yeah, hello again. So the clock and time left Robin alludes to is in fact this unassuming progress bar at the edge of your vision. Much like life, every move you make will deplete some of your remaining time. If we have only one prayer left, what do you suggest we ask for?
Oh, we might as well pray for a miracle. Well, that's a start.
Apologies, but another explanation from me, a humble tooltip, is in order. The previous move chained multiple matches together. Because of this, you've earned some bonus time. For the fairies of the court, this might as well be a miracle.
Is there any...
Let's see, this is probably Robin.
Is there any chance we could do that again? Whatever that was?
But there was no such chance. The next prayer would be the last one. Incidentally, the next prayer also belonged to you. Unsure of what any of this really meant, you imitated the people around you and made a pointless decision. The battlefield snapped together as the court snapped to attention.
Places, everyone.
Windows were shuttered, doors were slammed, large swaths of people emerged from further inside and formed a line near the gates. A tap on your shoulder, one of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room if you have a free hand. Along with the scholars, introduced to you as Hop and Skip, you sorted through a large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. Check the tag on that, would you? Make sure I put it together properly.
Farmer, working fairy, gathers food from fields.
If it looks correct, feel free to hand it out. You handed the bundle of farmer's apparel to the first person in line. Unperturbed by the idea of harvesting wheat in the middle of a battle, they whistled as they marched out the front gate. Now do it again. Deploy another farmer.
Now see if this one fits anybody.
Soldier, fairy, attacks the enemy. Click to use. You handled a bundle of armor and weapons to the next person in line. She tested the weight of a weapon in her hand. I haven't received any training, so I'm just planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. After this minimal preparation, the scholars considered their work finished.
I'd place our chances of survival somewhere near abysmal, but I'm afraid this is the best we can do.
A small mercy, at least, that the Queen isn't here to witness this. And so you waited with the others for the battle to commence. Hello, I must pass to you one more time before I take my leave. Observe, this is the undo button. Use it to change your mind as many times as you wish before starting the battle. However, the official editorial position of this tooltip is that you are liable to lose no matter how many times you change your mind presently. When you're ready to lose, use the play button to proceed to the battle. Now I will leave you in peace. But, should you ever desire the company of your loyal tooltip, all you need to do is click and hold over any button or tile, and I'll do my best to explain it to you.
Music's fun.
Okay. And then, sometime later, as the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is beside himself with laughter. Okay, so our court, caught off guard by a sudden war, stumbled behind enemy lines, made a token attempt at resistance, and was summarily toppled. Do I have that right?
Yeah, sorry, Eggs.
Yes, that does appear to be an accurate summary. And I'm certainly glad I slept through that, ha! As you look in your surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your own story makes little sense now that you think on it. How did you... Your companion pats your arm. Don't worry about it. If our court couldn't withstand physical destruction, we wouldn't last 5 minutes within the pull of the tide. But enough of that, it's about time I made some introductions. As you've narrowly avoided learning, this place is called Titanium Court. Meanwhile, I have the honor of being the steward of the court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies call me Goodfella. I am chief advisor and friend eternal to our fair queen. As fancy as that sounds, in practice it means he's unemployed. One of the scholars, the man named Hop, has approached your table. He appears to have had a drink or two. Or 4!
He pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial posture.
Guess the Queen stood us up, eh, good fellow? Lucky for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry showing the court would make. But on the plus side, we can continue draining her wine cellar. Now, are you going to help me with that, good fellow, or are you just going to stare at me? I don't mind either way.
Puck, staring at the scholar, mouth agape, slowly inhales and pinches his nose. What fools these. How drunk are you, Hop? The Queen is right here. I've been speaking to her for the entire feast. An excited hush follows over the entire hall. Hop blinks, looks at you, looks at Puck, turns bright red.
Oh, I see it.
Sorry, that was...
I see it now. That calls for Her Majesty's finest vintage. I'll be right back.
As Hop makes a quick exit, you look steadily at Puck and shake your head. There's no use denying it now, not after the tale you told me. If you'd like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. Puck smiles. Now, if I may conclude my introduction, let me introduce the court to your majesty and likewise. He stands up and addresses the entire hall as he says, Long absent, the Queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt and dessert is served. To your left, Hop returned with an armful of glasses and bottles.
And about time, too. Good fellow, did you tell her about the war yet?
Titanium. A Court. Chapter 1. A place beloved only of clowns and criminals. Game's got timing gags, it does. And then, just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. You're in charge of the war now, Your Majesty.
You should be fine. Just remember everything we've taught you about magical warfare.
Blinking slowly, you remind them that at this exact moment they have taught you roughly nothing about magical warfare.
Ah, good. She remembers quite clearly.
High tide. While the field is broken, arrange it to your advantage. Do you consult the ever-changing map? You don't know what any of this shit means. Okay. Inspect your available units. Cool, I have some soldiers and some farmers. Alright, so to make the soldiers, I need 1 wood, 1 stone, and 3 food. Hey, here's where you find out I'm not actually very good at match 3 games.
My terrible secret.
No, if you match 3, they get vaporized. They are destroyed. Brought low and unto the gates of hell itself. How much? Where's my time? Oh, my time's over there. Okay. I could move the court around a little bit. So that takes some time. Okay. So I'm blocked off from some of this shit. Low tide. Make preparations for the coming battle. All right, that's everything I can afford. Commence battle. Well, the enemy side doesn't seem to be putting out any units, which is great for me. Well, having now achieved some kind of victory in the war, you wonder if someone in the court might help you return home.
It would be our pleasure if you can show us the way.
Also, that was only one battle. There are many more to come if my notes are to be trusted.
Okay, well, if you understand this map correctly, if it even is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage just ahead. Perhaps if you can reach these signs, you'll learn more about where you actually are, along with how to get home.
And to reach them, we need merely be swept forward by the tide, as we have been all along. Convenient.
High tide. While the field is broken, arrange it to your advantage.
All right, and it's after 10, so this was cute, but we're going to stop here. Quit to menu. Last save was 14 seconds ago. God, that's 14 seconds I'm not going to fucking get back. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out tonight. I know an unorthodox stream, but we caught a couple Nazis. We moved a couple tiles. So I'll be back tomorrow with a more regular stream with John and Dez playing some more Night Rain. Thank you for your time and attention and for being polite for the most part about my voices, or if you didn't like the voices, for being quiet, which is the best kind of polite that there is. Good night and good luck. News man say that for luck being good. Night and good luck. I'm in a loop.